Alertwolf here to bring you another review. This time I'm doing it on Hunter x Hunter, episode, where am I? Episode 69, A Heated Showdown. Alright. Now this episode starts off, basically, they meet up with who am I thinking of? Tetsugira. There we go. Forgot his name, blanked out for a second. So they meet up with Tetsugira's group. Who is the only other group closer? It's the second closest group to finishing, And they meet up and they decide they should join forces. But before they do, they end up comparing powers. So Tetsugira shows them how high he could jump, and he shows them how to jump using Nen. And he talks about how high he could jump, and this is pretty close to his record, and he jumps real high. And the boys see this, and they're like, really? So they jump ridiculously high and out-jump him easily. And in his head, he's like, man, these kids keep getting stronger. They easily shattered my record. I mean, he saved some face with it. He's like, oh, you didn't break my record just yet, but they had, and he's told to let it go. They're just kids. And then Gon and Killua argue about who can jump higher, and Killua's like, no, we're not doing this again. If we do this again, you won't stop until you win. He goes, yeah, well, and that's fun. And they train. They train because they try to develop a strategy per game that they know of to try to win. And they train to assess that strategy. Alright, so then they end up, they also find out that the Bombers are just that one event card away from winning the game. So, but the Bombers don't have enough players currently. So they're motivated. They have to go now. They go. And basically, there are 6 of them that are powerful, and the rest that they brought are all weaklings, but just, they're fillers. So the match starts just like it starts before. They win their boxing match because this guy's fast. They explain that the seal on the boxing ring is actually what helped strengthen his powers, and he's actually a weakling. Whatever. It's good. Sorry about that. Anyway, it's good supposition, and it's good. It's a good explanation. But they also end up winning their bowling and basketball quite easily. This is when Razor tells his team. Basically, he tells them that the rest of you, stand back. I'll handle this. This is when Bobo, if that's his real name, decides to and he's the big fat guy from the previous episode that fought Killua, and he decides no, he doesn't want to listen to him anymore, and he wants to fight Killua outside. And Killua's like, yeah, for the sumo match. And so basically, but he doesn't stop there. He also goes on and is trying to incite the others to escape with him, and they could get off the island. All they have to do is get a boat. Now, during this, Razor warns him to cut it out, or he'll be punished. And then he breaks the rules by mentioning that this place is a real place, that they can escape. So he fires one of his Nen ball things right at his face and pops his head like a balloon, and down he goes. He's dead. And then the secrets get revealed that this is actually a real island, obviously, in the world, and it's separated and cut off. And Gon is angry over that guy being killed, and they also agree to a dodgeball tournament, 8-on-8. Winner takes it all. And Gon's like, wait a minute. why'd you kill that guy? He didn't deserve to die. And he's like, yeah, he's a, rapist, murderer, blah, blah, blah. He did deserve to die. And then they explain to him that these are real prisoners. Death row prisoners. So, or people in jail for death row life. So these guys really, he tried to incite basically a prison escape. And, he was well justified in killing this dude. And he broke the ultimate taboo, saying, that this was this is actually not a game, but this is in the real world. So, upon hearing all of this, and Tetsugira explaining this guy must be a game master, he goes, it's like, you must know Jing. And he's like, Jing, you must be Gon. And then he's like, yeah, your dad told me not to take it easy on you, basically. And Gon smiles because, he's fucking Gon. And then the dodgeball game finally starts. Now he creates what are known as the 14 Devil Razor. So he creates Nen beings to be his teammate on this dodgeball game. Now all the other guys, the problem is there's only 6 strong players on Gon's team, and the others are just fillers. So they're not going to get into a fight where this guy, he's like, I'm going to throw the dodgeball as hard as I throw that Nen ball that popped that big dude's head. None of them want to fight. So finally, whatever ends up happening is Goryenyu ends up saying, I'll count as 3, and he's able to create beings too. And what he does is he makes 2 gorillas, a white and a black gorilla. And so they agree, and they start the game. Now, basically, as the game starts, they start taking an early lead because Razor's kind of holding back and just wanting to see what they're capable of before he attacks. So he does this, and Goryenyu manages to take out a couple of, I guess you could call them like the fodder players, a couple of the numbers that he had throughout the thing. Finally, Razor decides it's his turn to throw back. So he throws one right at Goryenyu. And actually, before this happens, Goryenyu uses his Nen to power the ball, throws it at him. The dude stops it with one hand, catches it, powers it up himself, and throws it right at him. And when he sees it coming, he starts, trying to figure out his options. He can't catch it. He's too fast for him to dodge, and if it hits him, he's gonna die. So what he does is he pulls the switcheroonie and substitutes himself for the gorilla, for one of his gorillas. He pulls like a Nen teleportation switch. Like, you know what it is? It's like in Naruto. It's substitution jutsu. It's what he pulls. And so it blew up the Nen gorilla's head, and it dies. And they're like, wow, for it to break a being made of Nen, it's pretty powerful. But next up is Razor's not done there. He ends up taking Tetsugira because the balls are being thrown from his team so fast that Tetsugira couldn't follow it. And the boys warn him, and he manages to put up a Nen barrier just in time to block as it hits the center of his back, and you hear it crack. And he's out of the game. Now, he's not dead, so the next thing we see is now things are getting a little more tense. The boys, because the whole time, Killer was the one coming up with the strategy. So he figures out how things work, and it's the better part of the strategy to make sure that Razor's the last one in play. Because if he switches out for one of his subs before, if one of his subs switches in as he's getting eliminated, his sub, they only have like one sub they can put in, so it wouldn't work. An easy target is better if they take out the way they planned it. So there you go. So they use Hisoka and his bungee ball technique, his bungee, because he has the rubber power. So he starts eliminating a couple of guys. Then Razor figures out that it's too strong. His ball is too strong to be caught by one of his guys. So he combines the 6 and the 7, turning him into 13, and catches it. Now, it does explain things why he says he has the 14 devils. And, and apparently this doesn't break the rules. And they were able to break the bungee off of him. So now it's Razor's counterattack. Now he warns. Now instantly the boys realize it's coming after him. So they put up their. They put up their. Come on. Ken. I don't know why I blacked out on Ken. So they put up their Ken to raise their shields, and they're like, all right, you won't die, but I'm coming after you with this hit. So Gon drops his Ken and use Kill to brace for impact by catching the ball like this. Problem is, he does it over here in his head, which works. He takes the hit, but it literally knocks the socks off his feet. Like, he's hit so hard his shoes stay on the ground, and because he didn't set up anything to brace other than the main hit. So he ends up being smashed against the wall. The ball gets deflected into the ceiling, and Gon's like, all right, next time we'll be able to take it. He's all fired up, and that's the end of the episode. And basically what happens here is, Gon's having fun, and that's a good thing for a crazy strong dude. All right, and the next episode is going to be called Guts and Courage. Now, so this episode we got to see some fights. We got to see somebody's head being popped off, and a gorilla's head being popped off. Awesome, just like a balloon. The next episode looks like they're wrapping up this fight, and then they still have to deal with the bombers. So that's gonna be that. And yeah, man, this was a great episode. I'm gonna give this episode 4 out of 5, easily. It's not exactly a 5, but it was great. It had everything I liked in it. It was funny. It had intense action. We finally start to get to see the boys and everybody else showing off their talent. I mean, in this episode, we saw a lot of Razor showing off his talent, and I enjoy that because I think Razor's cool. His abilities are awesome. That ball of energy he throws to make things explode is pretty cool. And then the fact that he can call up Nen beings to back him up if he's ever in a jam is pretty cool too. So, and I like Gon and Killua taking on strong opponents. I like them getting better. So that's all good. Alright, so I don't think I have anything else. I mean, this episode is very straightforward. It's a fight episode in sports competition. So, there's nothing deeper to this other than the stuff with Jing and Gon and how this was really set up. Biscuit was right. This was set up just to test him and to make him stronger. So, all right. So click it up if you like it, comment if you must, and please, please, please subscribe if you can. And this is your boy Alert Wolf signing out.